Hello, everybody. Happy Tuesday. What's up, Facebook? How is everyone doing today? Well, welcome back for another episode. If not now, when? And in this special holiday edition, my friend, I have a special guest for you. Today, I have my king, Raf, in the house, my friend. If you don't know Raf, you really should. Raf is a philanthropist. He's a world traveler. He's a businessman. You know, Raf was actually born and raised in India. He came to state in a young age. He started his first corporation business with his father. And that's how the whole magic began. He soon expanded business over 19 locations across United States. And then later, he started wholesale distribution in Dallas, Texas, 1997. And today, he, of course, is a wonderful, successful businessman. But in addition, my friend, he also is a devoted family man. He is a loving husband, a proud father, a wonderful, wonderful son. And I want to tell you, I am just so honored and so grateful. I can call Raf my brother, my friend. I can go to him when I have questions. So I am just so honored today to have Raf in the house to share his beautiful, incredible stories. And thank you so much, Raf, for joining us. And welcome to the show.
Thank you so very much, my beautiful sister. Ben, what a pleasure, what an honor. Thank you very much. What a beautiful day in Texas. God bless America.
What a beautiful day. What a beautiful day. Well said, my brother. So let's jump in. You have such a magnificent story and journey. So tell us, how does all that begin? How does that journey to the US was like?
Beautiful. I was born in the great country of India. I call America my godfather. I was blessed to be honored of being part of both countries. My family moved to America 30 years ago. We moved to the great state of Texas. My businesses are based in Dallas, Texas. My family is in Dallas, Texas. I'm married to my beautiful wife, Sunita, over 25 years now. I have two beautiful daughters. My father is still with us, being blessed. My sister, Ash, lives in Atlanta. I have one of my cousin sisters that's part of my business in Dallas right here.
Beautiful.
Just another immigrant story. You know, I mean, a lot of hard work, lot of passion, a lot of good luck, lot of karma. You know what I mean? Just every day. You know, that's
so
what's all about.
If I can ask in a little bit more detail. So I'm curious, when you were young, right? You were only 14, you came to the United States. Was that easy? Right? Is that integration just like, oh, boom, I'm living American dream, everything's great, right? How does that process, how's that journey look like for you and your family?
It was, you know, I mean, I believe that because we were from India, which a very upstanding part of India. We came from Mumbai. Being from Mumbai is being a very integral part of high-end part of India, right? Again, different parts of India. We came from the educated side of India, right? So yeah, it was not very easy, but obviously very easy because we are very open-minded, educated part of India. So the transition was easy. Again, we came in a blessed situation, came with education, we came with some good support system, so it was easy. Again, 1.3 billion of us, right? So we all come from different backgrounds, right? Like some China, like when we met, right? But we can't generalize things in the world, right? We all come from different backgrounds. We come from different levels. If we keep an open, like anything in life, we can't generalize. Once you start generalizing, you keep digging holes for yourself. So we were blessed to come from a very, very good situation. My parents had worked very, very hard to put us in a good situation. So the transition was very easy. That not being said, that all Indians, all Chinese, all international people transitions are easy. We transitioned, my sister and me transitioned easier than a lot of other people. Thank God. Yeah.
Beautiful. So tell us a little bit more about your family, Raf. You know, during our conversation, you talk a lot about your mother, your father, and how they raised you and how that experience shaped who you are today. And I'm just curious if you can share a couple of stories.
Yes. Again, you know, I mean, we are blessed to have a joint family. When I say joint, means a father and a mother, right? They dedicate their life to raise us, right? So my mother and my father have dedicated their life in raising me and my sister. And similarly, my wife have a mother and a father raise them. My mother is in heaven, God bless her soul. And she has dedicated her life to raise us. And my father still guides us by the grace of God, raising us even today, though I'm 50 years old. And I lie to people that I'm only 35, but the guidance still continues, even in today's age. So that's a blessing. Not a lot of people have that, but it's a blessing in our lives. And it continues even today. It's ongoing. It's ongoing, and it's a blessing. Any relationship or family, any guidance from your family is a blessing. Sometimes us as humans miss it, But if you can look at it and appreciate it and take it in as a blessing, it only can help you on an ongoing basis. Like any relation in this world, you got to take it and appreciate it. And in this world of us looking at ourselves, it can only help you. It can only help you, and it can enhance your life to be a better way of living.
So beautiful. And during our conversation, Raf, you comment specific about your relationship with your mother and how she shaped you in such a leader today. So, do you have any story you want to share with us regarding that?
Yes, we live our values. Our lives are our values, and our mother is our source of our values. I would tell you it's going to be a very hard lesson for most of us who's going to listen to me. Our mothers are a source of value. It might not be something you've thought about before, but if you think about it, take yourself out of it. Don't fight it. Don't fight it. Look at it. It is our only source of value. So look at it and understand it. If you are a mother and if you have a relation with your mother, because all of us have a relation with our mother.
100%.
So that is your source of values. You live your values, and it is anonymously beautiful.
It's so beautiful to hear what you're saying. And if I have your permission to share one of the story you shared, which is just blow my mind. And I remember you mentioned that, of course, you really a wonderful son. But when you were, young, like 11, 12 years old, maybe there's one situation your mother punished you. And that was not an easy moment. But how do you overcome that moment and still have such a love, relationship and with your parents and truly believe in being that kind, wonderful son you are? And I think, as small as that story, I felt a lot of people will see really how that shaped who you are today.
You have to believe, because there is no handbook. You could go to Barnes and Nobles and buy a book on being a parent. But when we come from humble beginnings, as we all did, how do you know? I remember not too long ago, one of my employees told me, Raf, you're a great father. I'm like, dude, when did I become a great father? That had to come from something, right? That had to come from my father's teachings. And that had to come from my mother's teaching. That had to come from the humbleness of my wife. So you got to understand that. There is no handbook for our parents from when they came from. They came from humble beginnings. Even today, doesn't matter how smart or beautiful or how intelligent our world is. That all has to come from the soul. That has to come from some values. Parenting comes from values, and that's inbuilt. I do not believe there's a bad mother in this world. I will not agree to that. I will not agree to that. We all come from our own values. So my parents, your parents, anybody's parents in this world, I do not agree with it, especially your mother. Impossible. If my mother was hard on me, that's because she knew my mistakes and she had to correct before I get into the real world. And because of her parenting, I sit here in front of you.
Beautiful.
No choice. End of story.
I love that. And I'm curious, of course, anyone who know you, Raf, you are just such a faithful person. You always choose to believe. There always great things come out of anything. You're always so positive. I'm curious, what made you so faithful and always believe? And how does that impact, your decision that you make in life and personal and all and above? Like, what made you so positive and so strong in that aspect?
Belief and faith comes from success. Okay, it's a circle. Belief and faith comes from success. You're successful because you have belief and faith. So sometimes you just have to give that a chance, and all that comes from having your cup. If you fill your cup with knowledge and integrity and intelligence, it's a circle. The problem becomes when people start wanting things and they don't have that cup. That's why I always tell people, that you gotta keep filling your cup. When you have an empty cup, you're gonna have despair, and you're gonna have hate, and you're gonna have, you got Instagram is not life. You know, it's just sad. You know what I mean? That's my only. When you tell me, Raf, give me some knowledge. The only knowledge I can give is fill your cup. That's it. You know what I mean?
And what fill your cup, Raf?
My fill this game is to learn from you, learn from you, learn from my friends, learn from my people, learn from Google. I use social media to learn. People, I always tell you, remember when we were having dinner the other day in West Palm Beach, and people were hating on TikTok, and I showed you how much money I made from TikTok, from learning those stocks tips. I said, I love TikTok. So they have two choices. We hate or we learn. You choose. You choose. So that's my suggestions are simple in life. Very simple.
Beautiful.
Just do the best you can to be the best person you can be. And keep self-checking. Keep balancing your checkbook. That's the only suggestion I can make as a businessman, as a human being, as a husband, as a son, as a father. At the end of the day, there's nobody checking you except yourself. Buy a mirror. Go to the dollar store and buy yourself a mirror. Keep yourself one on the desk. I have one right here. I keep looking at myself. That's all I can do. That's where my faith comes from. My faith came from I wasn't dishonest with myself. It turned a few years ago, but I'm like, I can't do anything right to myself. But when I started becoming faithful to myself, my faith in the world changed. So that's your answer right there. My faith comes when I became honest with myself. Like, you remember how you wanted me to diet and couldn't lose weight, right? Because I was unfaithful to myself, right, man? But the day I became faithful to myself, I will lose weight. The day I keep drinking like 6 liters of water, I start losing weight.
Beautiful.
You know what I'm saying? But if not, I won't lose weight. So the faith comes from within, to be honest with yourself.
Why is it hard to be honest with yourself, Raf?
Because we are human. God made us that way. But God also gave us honesty within ourselves. God also gave us a balance within ourselves because we are human. God made us that way, in a good way. But God gave us that. God gave us that equivalent within ourselves. It's okay. We're God's children. God forgives us that way. But God wants us to keep track of ourselves.
Beautiful.
But God always wants us to love ourselves. God always wants us to be honest with ourselves. God wants us to be kind to ourselves.
So beautiful. Oftentimes it's so hard to truly be 100% honest with who you are and knowing where you stand today and knowing where you wanted to go. And that's how we craft the path. But just having that faith in yourself and be honest is such an important step. So I love what you just said. So Rob, you're talking about success, you're talking about business. I'm curious, how does business today, with this pandemic, how does this year has been for you and your family?
Challenging is understatement. Challenging is an understatement. But we pivot. We take what we get and we make the most of it. Luckily for me, years of being in business, years of experience, years of having a solid team around me, my beautiful superstar wife, my super intelligent and wise father, my beautiful sister who is my rock from Atlanta, who is my soundboard, my two beautiful daughters who are citizens of the world, and my accountant, my CFO, my brother who helps work with me here in this business. They work with me within my team, and we were able to navigate what God gave us. But it's hard. It's hard because not always what is presented works for you. Like, because I run a frugal business, let me give you an example. Like the government program of PPPP, right? The government presented you a PPP. I run a very frugal business. I have some high-paying positions in my business, but everything else is run very tightly. So the government didn't support me a lot because my cost of doing business is very low. So I didn't get a lot of support. So is that a good thing or a bad thing? Right? My buddy's got big checks from the government, but I got a very small check. You see what I'm trying to say? So there are challenges with that. But because the government gave a lot of our friends in this country some free money, the business rotated, right? Jump started the economy. Only country in the world that did it. Only country in this whole world, right? They did once and they're going to do it again one more time. So that helped us, right? So that's a challenge right there. Every business has different challenges. Right? We cannot generalize. Once you generalize, we're dead, right? So we are blessed in this business, but then we have a retail location. We have retail stores that has challenges because of social distancing. People don't want to come to the store, right? More than ever, there is support for small businesses, but people don't want to go to the retail store because they want to buy online. So we're dying, right? Some of my employees, like this week, we were all excited. We were going to have a final week of sales, but then COVID hit close to the store. Well, home, my wife got COVID, right? You know that, right? A few days ago, Sunita, my beautiful wife, got COVID. A couple of my big managers got COVID. We had to close down the business for a few days. We had to reshuffle. We had to come back to our plan. So we are just posting just to get to Christmas. You know what I mean? So, but luckily we have the infrastructure and we have the power to take the hit. You know, we're just getting there, right? So now a lot of people don't have that. So again, what do? You know, you just make the most of it. So it's very challenging. It's very challenging. When you have the resources, you're okay. So when you say business, it's business to business. It's how you can take the hit. Some businesses can take the hit and you just suffer. Again, we are really blessed to be in this great state of Texas. You know what I mean? Like recently, I saw a picture in the newspaper that there was a concert for 6,000 people. And if you talk to somebody in LA, they think you're joking. You talk to somebody in New York, they say, what do you mean? We haven't been for lunch or dinner. My friend went for lunch for his son's birthday after 8 months. After 8 months, we haven't stopped living life. And they haven't gone for lunch or dinner for 8 months. So it is just what geographical area you are, what government is running your state or your city or your county. So this one, COVID has just given a totally different fabric to this whole country of ours. Obviously the whole world, but we are talking about localization of our lives. You know what I mean? So you cannot generalize anymore for sure. You know what I mean? It's one life at a time. You know, we were we were living our life totally insulated, and suddenly my wife got COVID. So obviously I'm totally in a different psyche. You know, I mean, I was in a totally different psyche. Now it's a totally different world for me in the last 96 hours, you know.
Tell us more about that.
I mean, again, my wife got COVID. I mean, so it's like, wow, that's like right 1 degree away from me. I'm highly diabetic. I have an 86-year-old father lives with me. So my kids are quarantined. My father's quarantined. I don't see anybody. I'm worried. I've got tested 3 times in the last 5 days. You know what I mean? Because like I said, I'm diabetic. You know what I mean? I don't go to my own businesses. You know, I'm quarantined in my office when I come here. Luckily, I have the ability to do that. Now, if you're hand to mouth, you have no choice. Imagine how sad is that? But that's the world we live in right now. You know what I mean? It's just the challenges we live in.
So beautiful. How would you keep such a positive mindset, Raf, with what's happening this just past week to your family and the past months to your business? How do you just keep going?
You have to be
always
realistic.
See the light.
You have to be realistic. I have money in the bank. Let's be honest. Don't give me credit. I have money in the bank, right? Give credit to the person who doesn't have money in the bank. That's the person, the poor person. Like my dad told me the other day when he was so upset that this lady in the newspaper, she said she has 1 box of corn, corn chips and she has to feed the children, and she doesn't know where the food's going to come the next day. That's the person I want to give credit. That's the person I want to help. You know what I mean? That's the challenge we live in this country today, and we live in America, and that's the challenge that COVID has presented our world. Right? Let's be honest, and that's why we go help. We run soup kitchens, and our community, we go try to do our best, whatever little we can do, and try to support as much as we can. You know what I mean?
Beautiful.
It's just challenging. We live in a challenging world today.
I just felt you can always find things to be grateful, and your act, your your attitude, which is such an inspiration, brother. I'm just so commends that, in this such a challenging time, you want to show up today to share your beautiful story, to support others. It's just such a beautiful. So I'm really honored and thank you so much for being here with your time. And, this year, obviously, the pandemic not just impacting you and me, and it's everybody, right? So if someone who are listening today, who are also a business owner, who are also in a challenging situation, Raf, what would you say to her or to him?
Keep your head up. A business owner makes things personal. Sometimes people like I have a storefront, right? That's the business that got us where we are, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then people like, damn, why do you run to the store to take care of your? That's got us here, right? I put 2 masks and try to run there to take my customers. It's not easy. It's not easy surviving. It's fighting the online business, fighting the social distancing. It's hard, but help is around the corner. We live in the greatest country in the world. That helps.
Beautiful.
Helping all their customers. I know the government is changing right now, and they're going to help us. And just keep your head up, keep filling the cup. There are ways. We live in the greatest country in the world. We live in the country where people have the biggest hearts, and they will help us. You see all these. You see people will come and shop with you, and they will go the extra mile to help us.
Well, keep you going.
Keep your head up and keep providing services. You got to provide services. If you don't provide services, then, you got to provide services. That's it.
Beautiful. Rob, so what keeps you going? What motivates you? Because I feel like you always, almost doesn't matter what happened to your life, you always just keep going. Like, what is the one thing that motivates you?
Money. Yeah. Money and obviously success. Success is like the biggest motivator in the world, right? We all want to be successful. And earlier in my life, I have based my life on Thani, constant and never-ending improvement. I want to improve as a person. I want to improve as a human being. I want to improve as a father, a son, a husband, a brother. I want to improve as an American. I want to improve as a man of soul and a man of religion. I want to improve all around. I want to keep, because I'm not perfect. I'm in no way perfection. I won't think so I'll ever reach perfection. But I want to keep improving as me, a better version of myself.
Beautiful.
We're all looking for a better soul. And I want to just get better as myself, in my businesses, as my spirituality, especially in my religion, as a religious person. Because I like in my religion practice. My faith is super strong. But if I don't practice my religion, then there are some challenges there. So that's what keeps me going every day, every minute, to get better at what I do, and keep practicing as a father, especially as a father.
Beautiful. You talked about success. I'm curious, is what success mean to you, and do you think you are successful already today?
Yes, I am very successful, because I believe that I have some control over my mind. I have some control over my mind, and to me, that's success.
Let's talk about that. Was that the hardest thing?
Yes. That got me where I am right now. Once I had a little synergy to control my mind, I started appreciating who I am. And I started feeling gratitude. And I started appreciating what God's given me. And I started feeling the love I had in my life. And I started feeling the appreciation for my wife. I started feeling the appreciation for my father, my sister. Yes, that is what I consider success. My faith, my soul. Once I had a little control over my mind. Because if I didn't have control over my mind, I was a vagabond. Yeah, I was just another human being. But once I had control over my mind, I was King Raf. I was Raf. And I'm still working at it. That's what constant and never-ending improvement is. I want to control my mind a little at a time. Yeah. The more I control my mind, the more I become who I am.
Ooh,
That's my
interesting.
belief. Yeah, that's my
Let's talk
belief.
about that. What do you
Yes,
mean
ma'am.
by that?
Yeah, because if I control my mind, nothing else around me matters. Because if I'm controlling my mind, then I know exactly where I'm coming from and where I'm going.
Hmm.
Everything makes sense. Every
Beautiful.
situation makes sense.
Hmm. So for our listeners who are so intrigued right now, learning, wow, King Ralph have a control to over your own mind, which is so beautiful. How did he can also do the same? What simple steps or advice you will share with our listeners to do exactly that and follow your success path, Ralph?
It starts from gratitude, and it's hard when you don't have success to be grateful, right? Why would somebody want to be grateful when you don't have success? So how can I be grateful? I don't have success in money, I don't have success in business, I don't have success in relationship, I don't have success with my family, I don't have success with my father, so it's hard. It's very hard. I understand your point, but we have to start somewhere, because
Hmm.
otherwise you're going to be suffering. Okay, so you got to be grateful, you got to be have gratitude. So first and foremost sign is to be kind to yourself. That's the
Beautiful.
easiest thing you can do. Please, if anything you can listen to from me, be kind to yourself. That's all you can,
Hmm.
that's the only thing I can request you. I don't want to request you anything else. Just listen to one thing from me. If you can listen to me, give me a gift. You asked me on your list, what do I want for Christmas? If one person whoever listens to this in the course of however long this is going to be out there, this Christmas next year, if you want to give me a gift, that's the only thing I want for Christmas, is be kind to yourself.
So let's talk about it. What does that mean by be kind to ourselves? What does that
Yes,
mean?
because what happens is we are not kind to ourselves. That is the root cause of all problems in this world.
Why is that?
Because people start, you think that you need more than what you have. You want what they have. You want what that Instagram post has, that Facebook post have. You want my life. I want his life. He wants her life. Not possible, my girlfriend. It's not possible. It's just not happening, because that's not real. It's vapor. Because he has more problems than you. You know what I mean? The beautiful women. Like the most funny quote I heard. You look at the most beautiful lady in the world who's married to him, and he's the most happiest, unhappiest man in the world. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
You think, oh, this guy must be the happiest man in the world, but he has his own problems. She has her own
Hmm.
problems.
Hmm.
This is because God is fair.
Hmm.
Well, we don't wish problems on them, but this is the way the world is.
Hmm.
We all have challenges. God is very fair. God is very even. That doesn't mean that
Hmm.
he's. This is the way the world. This is how the cookie crumbles. Everybody has challenges.
Beautiful.
Everybody has challenges, but we have to pray. We have to be even keel, and we have to understand this is the way it is the way it is.
Hmm.
I mean, I don't want to bring up a very unfortunate incident. A couple of days ago, a gentleman within the world of our brotherhood, his son got killed by a car accident. 42-year-old son, 42-year-old gentleman. Some of the people on this chat will know him. Billionaire, net worth is $6 billion. 42-year-old son died. How do you deal with that? Will he give all his money away for his son back? I mean, I cried. Well, I don't. I've seen the gentleman twice on stage. I don't even know him personally.
Hmm.
So this is the world. This is God. God's way.
Hmm.
I
Hmm.
don't wish on that on my worst. I don't have enemies. I don't have enemies. I don't wish that on anybody in this world.
Hmm.
So this is the way world is. So you have to be kind to yourself to accept that. You have to be kind to yourself to accept that fact of life.
That must be so hard.
That's why I consider myself successful, my beautiful sister.
Hmm.
And the more power I have over my mind, the more successful I've come. Yes, plus monetary success. It's a part
Hmm.
of it. Don't get me
Hmm.
wrong.
Of
I'll
course.
be lying to you. I'll be lying to you. Now, if I have control over my mind and tomorrow if I've lost a few dollars, I'll tell you, no, I'm not happy about it. I'll be lying to you, right? But
Mm-hmm.
God has blessed me, so it's part and parcel of it.
Mm-hmm.
When people said
So
money
beautiful.
doesn't, when people tell you money doesn't mean anything, that means they have money in the bank. You know what I mean?
That means
When some people they
that
have
means
money in the
what?
bank, that means they have money in the bank.
Okay.
You know, when you meet in Austin, when you meet rich people and they say, "Oh,
Mm-hmm.
money don't mean nothing," that means they have money in the bank. They're the biggest liar. Call them out. Call them out.
Wonderful. And since we're talking about gratitude, so Raf, what are you grateful for today?
Air in my lungs, like Miss Dalton says, our friend Jennifer Dalton says about air in our lungs. Most gratitude about that. I'm most gratitude about my father, my beautiful wife, my sister Ash, my first cousin sister Tina,
Beautiful.
my beautiful working core staff, Mr.
Mm-hmm.
Raza, Miss Anita, Birta, Ravi. I'm most grateful about my beautiful superstar wife, my two daughters, Kimaya and Kiana. I'm just grateful every day. Every day I'm very grateful. I'm very grateful for the success God has given me.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Because of the success God has given me, I'm great. I'm that creates gratitude about other things.
Mm-hmm.
Let's just be honest.
Mm-hmm.
Without success, I won't be grateful about other things.
Mm. Beautiful. And I want to share a small journey I have this morning. So for me, I'm grateful every day when I walk on this beautiful trail and I just felt like I can feel this sense of coolness, the morning breeze on my face. And that moment I just tell myself, for me, the gratitude does not have to come from a single success or this or that. It's a moment that when we can actually the fact that you can right now see this wonderful webinar, you can listen to Raf's beautiful story, you can see, you can feel, you can sense, you can taste, you can smile. I think that is the biggest blessing. And we can all have something to be grateful, irrelevant of how big, how small your success is. So I just want to add on to that. I think it's so beautiful that what Raf said, live every day with gratitude. And I think that is cure for all. And I really love that beautiful message, Ralph. And I'm curious, this year obviously has been, so tough, for everyone, the business, family life, and all along. I'm curious, is that the hardest challenge you ever have to go through?
Hardest challenge we've been through up to date. Yeah, because we don't know what
Wow.
what God throws at us next, right? Yeah, COVID has been a tough one, right? Who would have thunk? 7th March was my brother Bobby's birthday, 50th
Yes.
birthday. We had 250 people at my house.
Oh, I remember that.
Yeah, going crazy. And 12th, 13th March, we closed down. It was crazy. 1st March to 7th March, we had parties every day, different friends and brothers and family celebrating. We had friends from all over the world celebrating. And 13th March, we closed down, and we sit here today, 22nd December. So who would have thunk, right? So we just yeah, this has been a tough one. It's been a tough one. A lot of emotions, a lot of learning on the go, and we just have to take this one and learn from this.
So
We just have to
beautiful.
learn from this and ask for forgiveness. And in our own way, we will take this and we will ask for forgiveness from the higher ups, and we'll go from here. Um,
Mm-hmm. So
I
I'm
I,
curious, go ahead.
no, I believe that better days ahead, and God will forgive us, and we will start the journey again.
Beautiful,
We will
beautiful.
come out of. I really believe humanity will come out of this as better people. I really do.
Yeah.
I really, in my heart, I believe that we will all come out of it better people. We will reset. We will reset humanity within us.
Mm-hmm. Yes, I 100% agree. I think as long as we all keep believing and keep your heads up, the whole world gonna continue be a better place when we return.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
beautiful.
100%. 100%.
Mhm. And Rob, I'm curious, do you have one last advice to share with the audience who are, obviously today you live in such a beautiful state of gratitude, despite the challenges, big or small, personal or business, you're always so positive. And when those negative emotion or negativity show up, like, how do you deal with it? And how do you advise our listeners to process those challenges? And inevitably they all show up. You talk about being kind to yourself, you talk about having a faith, and how do you actually to handle that?
Yes, very, very important. So, like I said, for me to get to this stage, I did get some outside help. I'll be honest with you. After my mother passed away, it was very challenging. It was very challenging for any son, especially somebody who was very close to his mother, like my mom, my sister, and we both had our own challenges to deal with it. I did go outside the normal block. I did seek some outside help on my own in my journey. I did look out, and I did go to. I did attend a few Tony Robbins courses. And Tony Robbins talked about state of mind. You know what I mean? So the idea to get out of that state, you need to change your state, and you need to look at how you can change your state. And I tell you how easy it is to change your state. Okay, and everybody needs to change your state. Obviously, the most successful people or the most poorest people or the challenging doesn't affect. Money, monetary, it has nothing to do with this. Mm-hmm. I guarantee you. Okay? It's just who you are, where you are, and you can do it in seconds. I guarantee it. I've done it. And it works. It works for me. I've tried it on Sunita, who's the most positive person in the world. I've tried it. I've done it on my dad, again, who's a superstar positive person, and it works. So you just have to practice it and change your state. If you're in a bad time, in a bad moment, give yourself a couple of minutes. Deal with it. Don't ignore it. Don't ignore it. If you ignore it, it's going to stay in the back of your head. I always tell my employees, I tell my family, I tell my kids, deal with it. Because if you don't deal with it, you don't solve it. You got to look at it. What happened? What did you do wrong? What did you do wrong? How do we make sure it doesn't happen again? How do we make sure it doesn't happen again? And we let it go. We let it go. We don't ruin the next minute or the next hour. Life has to go on.
Beautiful.
We deal with it so it doesn't happen again. Because if it happens again, it's going to cost us more money, more time, more blood pressure, more finances. We don't want that. We deal with it. We make that hurt so bad. I want this to hurt so bad that if it comes again, it reminds me. I want this to hurt so bad that if it comes again, it goes beep, 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 beep. It won't happen again. That's how I deal with it.
When you say you want to hurt so bad, do you mean you punish yourself?
I punish myself right now. I'm punishing myself. Let's say this is a bad situation right now, right? Mm-hmm. I want this to hurt so bad for right now. I want this to be so painful before I let it go. Mm-hmm. So this doesn't happen again. Mm-hmm. I prepare my mind in a situation that I won't let it happen again. Mm. You understand what I'm saying? That this mistake won't happen again. Like, let me give you an example. Like, I have a very important file to send to you, right? We are working on a project, okay? And I work on a file, very important, right in the middle of the night, 3 o'clock, boom, boom, beautiful, wow, what a presentation. And I need to send it to you. And guess what? I forget to send it to you. Mm-hmm. 7 o'clock in the morning, Ben's like, Raf, where is the file? I didn't send it to Wen. And the deadline passed. I messed up, right? We're working. I'm a working class man. Now, I need to be in so much pain that it never happens again in my life. You see what I'm trying to say? So that challenge, because people make mistakes. We all make mistakes. Life goes on. But sometimes you have to go through that process that you don't make that mistake again and again and again. Because as humans, we have to learn. We have to train our mind and our body to do that. But you got to change that state. Because I don't want to ruin tomorrow because I made a mistake yesterday. But I want to make sure that my mind is trained not to make that mistake again.
Beautiful. And you talk about change your state. Ralph, is there any simple thing that you can tell our listeners to actually do to change that?
Yeah. You gotta keep piling the gratitude moments. What we discussed. Remember when we were in West Palm Beach and we were talking about some of a challenge and about how we keep piling up all our beautiful things. We keep piling up. Hey, what's up? My beautiful daughter Kimaya.
All the beautiful things in our life.
Yeah.
We should all be grateful.
Kiana.
And alum.
That's it. Keep piling them up. Kiana.
Beautiful.
My Kaden. My Rehan. My sister Ash. My wife.
All
my
people
dad.
we love.
Yeah, my brother-in-law, my superstar brother-in-law. My other brother-in-law, Samir. My sister Kiana. My sister Tina. My businesses, everything, my childhood, whatever, keep piling it up and you have no choice but change. But God's blessed you with so much. You just got to clear it up.
Stack all the beautiful, wonderful moments and you are chosen. You know you are blessed and whatever you are doing right now, you have all the tools inside of you to make it happen.
Beautiful.
I love that. And Rob, since you're on my show, if not now, when, I have to ask you, what's American dream mean for you, my friend?
Living in America is a dream. And unfortunately, a lot of people forget that. So please, all my international immigrant brothers and sisters, please don't forget that. You being in this country is a dream. Please, before you go tonight, thank God that you're here. Please, all my American brothers and sisters, know that you being in this land is a God's gift. Please thank God that you live in this country. I love you. Thank God. God bless.
Beautiful, beautiful. This is such a beautiful journey, and thank you so much, Rob, for sharing your beautiful story, your amazing attitude, and your such a faithful man. So really appreciate you. Is there anything else you want to share with our audience that I have not asked today?
Have a great day. Be blessed. Merry Christmas. Happy New Year. Instead of planning ahead and saying that 2021, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, let's say 2020 was the best year of our life. And we was so grateful to make it through, even through the biggest test of God, the pandemic. 2021, we're going to cruise through it. Whatever God throws at us, we're going to be strong. We're going to count our blessings. We're going to be in the best state of mind. We're going to fill our cup. We're going to appreciate our family around us. We're going to be smart. We're going to be grateful. We're going to check ourselves. We're going to make sure we are worthy. We're going to be in constant and never-ending mode. And we're going to be superstars.
Wow.
Thank you very much.
So beautiful. And thank you so much, everybody, for tuning in. This is King Rob. He's amazing, amazing, amazing. I really hope you enjoy the show as much as I do. And go crush it, my friend. Have a magical, magical Christmas. And see you guys next week. Bye, guys.
Thank you. Thank you, Bob.